We all know sleep is important, and for kids, it's especially important. It can affect their whole day. And let's face it, during the summer, the kids want to stay up later. At least mine do, and all their friends do. So Dr. Bailony is here, a pediatrician from Sharp Chula Vista, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so talking about kids and sleep, especially in the summer, it's tough. I was telling you in the break, every time my kid comes home from a sleepover, they're wrecked. I mean, they have dark circles under their eyes.
Yeah, it's understandable. I remember when I was a kid and I had sleepovers, I was probably the same way.
Yeah. So the kids who stay up late, they don't do as well in school. And there was a recent study done on this particular thing. Even if you kind of have that pattern in the summer before you go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was actually a recent study done in England, and they looked at a large sample of kids, actually over 11,000 kids. And they found that they basically looked at these kids at 3 ages, at age 3, 5, and 7. They found that kids who sleep after 9 p.m. consistently had lower scores in reading and math.
So why is it so important? I mean, we know the basics. Nobody wants to be tired. But for kids, why is it especially important that they sleep well?
Well, I mean, your body has a natural circadian rhythm. I think it's hard. We sometimes forget to think about these things these days with Facebook and Twitter and all the modern day. We forget to think about something as basic as sleep, but your body kind of needs its natural clock. And without it, obviously, you see problems with reading, math, spatial cognition, things like that. So it's very important as a kid for them to get that baseline rest that they need.
From whatever perspective you come from, if you're a teacher or the parents, how can you tell if a kid's not sleeping well? I mean, aside from the very obvious look of them.
Well, questions that hopefully your pediatrician should ask you is, how's your kid doing in school? Are they able to pay attention in school? Are they sleepy during the daytime? Are they one of those kids like I used to be where they just have to take that daytime nap?
I'm a huge fan of the daytime nap.
Yeah, I mean, the daytime nap is good as long as it's limited to just that one daytime nap. There's some kids who kind of need to sleep the whole day. That's a sign that your kid's not sleeping well at night.
Right. So how can you practice these good habits then in the summer when your kids naturally want to stay up later because everyone else is doing it?
Yeah, well, basically, with anything, I try to keep it simple, and I come up with a little mnemonic. That mnemonic is EARN. It's E-R-N. There's no A. So basically, the number one thing you want to look at is the kid's bedroom environment. That's something these days that's hard to establish. A lot of times there's TVs, iPads. You really want none of that stuff in the bedroom. You want the bedroom to be a dark, kind of cool, 70, 75-degree room, and you want it to be a positive environment. Like for example, when your kid gets in trouble, you'd never want timeout to be in the bedroom, because if they associate negative things with the bedroom,
they're not going to want to go in there to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just being firm, saying no, that you can't have these things.
Yeah, and keeping a ritual. So if your bedtime is 9 o'clock, you really want to be consistent with that 9 o'clock bedtime. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of aliens, and so I would try to get my parents to get me another glass of water, to read me another story, and you don't want your kids to do that. So don't let your kids be like I was. You really want to be consistent. Whatever bedtime is, it should be that bedtime, and you should have the ability to say no. Okay,
I know. You are a parent after all, right?
Yeah. It's very hard to say no to your kids, but when they want that extra glass of water.
It's not that hard. Anyway, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Hope your day isn't too busy from getting up so early.
It's not too bad.
Okay. All right.